Yatra. I take this opportunity to welcome each one of you for our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So today,
Hare Krishna.
So today we have His Grace Suvarna Gaurahari Prabhu, so who will be actually talking about the glories of Jagannath Rata Yatra. So I welcome Prabhuji for giving us this wonderful association, and I kindly request him to go ahead and then share the nectar with all of us. So Prabhu, welcome, and over to you. Kindly deliver the nectar. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about the glories of Ratha Yatra on the day of the Ratha Yatra. I'll begin with prayers. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamram Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Srivam Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaurabhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Kurti Vacharam Pangam Mangeti Girim Yatpavat Maham Mande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramahansa Param Sri Chaitanya Hare Krishna. So many of you already heard the pastimes of Lord Jagannath and even the Rath Yatra pastime of Lord Jagannath. Every year this festival comes and every year we keep hearing this pastime, and every time we hear it, it appears fresh, newer and newer. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam. The pastimes of Krishna are ever fresh because they are always happening. They never become old. Right? Although Krishna is Purana Purusham, but Navayavanam, he is very young. He is always young. And although Krishna has performed these pastimes long ago, even now they are happening. So that's called as Aprakata Leela. The Lord keeps performing his pastimes. So Lord pastimes remain ever fresh. So this Rath Yatra also is an eternal pastime of the Lord, where the Lord Christ likes to ride on the Ratha and go from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. And we have heard this story of how Brajavasis once came to Kurukshetra, so because they heard that Krishna has come there. Krishna and the Yadus had come to Kurukshetra to perform sacrifice, pujas, on the day of the solar eclipse. And when Brajavasis heard this news, they also went there. And that was a meeting of Krishna and the Vrajavasis after long, long years, many, many years. So, and this meeting was very intense, very emotional, very devotional. And finally, the gopis decided that let's bring Krishna to Vrindavan because we're not feeling so happy in this Kurukshetra setting. Because Krishna is the same, gopis are the same, but Vrindavan is missing. Vrindavan is the eternal abode of Lord Krishna, home of Lord Krishna. There is Vrindavan forest, there is Govardhan, there is Yamuna, and there are wonderful devotees of the Lord. So all this was missing. So gopis tell to Krishna, Krishna, come with us. Let's go to Vrindavan. So the gopis pull the Rata of Krishna to Vrindavan. So that's Rath Yatra. And the Vrindavan also represents the heart. Anera Hridayaman Moraman Vrindavan Mane Vane Ekakarimani. So Lord Chaitanya is telling that generally the heart is called as the mind. Anyara Hridayaman. In general, for common people, they say the heart is the mind. But Lord Chaitanya said, Moraman Vrindavan. But my mind is actually Vrindavan. It's not the heart. It is Vrindavan. So Mane, Vane, Ekakari Mani. So my mind and Vrindavan is one. Oh Lord, please come. So Tomara Padadvaya. Please keep your two lotus feet on in my heart, in my mind. Because Krishna always is in Vrindavan, he always keeps his lotus feet in Vrindavan and makes the Vrindavan very, very glorious. Jayati Dedikam Janmana Vraja Shrayata Indira Sheshwadatrahi. The place of Vrindavan has become glorified because Lord Krishna appeared there and he performed his pastimes there. So Krishna is always in Vrindavan. And when he is walking in the dust of Vrindavan, Krishna's footprints come there. So that place becomes very glorified. Similarly, when Lord Krishna appears in our heart and he keeps his footprints in our heart, then our heart becomes like Vrindavan. So this is the one pastime which we have generally heard about Rath Yatra. I just shared it in brief, but there is another pastime which I'd like to discuss in detail, which I heard from, read from the book of Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. So Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj is one of the exalted devotees in ISKCON, and he came to Krishna consciousness and he met Srila Prabhupada at quite old age, and he became one of the stalwart leaders very soon, and then he also became initiating spiritual master, and he was always absorbed in these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And many times he used to speak only on Chaitanya Charitamrita. And hours together he used to speak on Chaitanya Charitamrita. And his lectures are very deep, very intense. And Maharaj has understood this tattva of Rath Yatra very deeply. So he has written a book called The Embarkment of Separation. In that book, there is one chapter of Lord Jagannath. In that chapter, he explains another Rath Yatra, one more Rath Yatra which happened from Dwarka to Vrindavan. We will discuss that past time. So once upon a time, Krishna, when he was in Dwarka, he was always remembering the pastime, the devotees of Vraja. Although Krishna is in Dwarka, but he is constantly remembering the devotees of Vraja. Because Krishna, although he is in Dwarka, is not as happy as in Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is the place where Srimati Radharani stays. So, in separation from Srimati Radharani, Krishna was in great distress. So it is said that sometimes in the middle of the night, Krishna will start calling the names of Radhe, 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 like that. He will start chanting the names of Srimati Radharani. And the devotees in Dwarka get surprised. Why Krishna is calling Radhe, 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 Radhe. And sometimes while calling Srimati Radharani's names, Krishna is to become unconscious, faint. Sometimes in the dreams he used to chant, sometimes while in the waking state also he will chant Radhe, Radhe, Radhe and become unconscious. So Shri Krishna was feeling acute pangs of separation from Srimati Radharani. So once upon a time, when Krishna was in such a state of Mahabhava, where he was remembering Radharani, he became unconscious. So at that time, Narada Muni comes there. So Narada Muni came and saw that Krishna is unconscious. So Narada was wondering what happened to Krishna. So Narada and Uddhava both came actually. Uddhava is also a very dear friend and cousin of Krishna. So both are Premi Bhaktas. So they came and they started discussing what happened to Krishna. So then they came to the conclusion that actually Krishna is remembering Vrajavasis. Krishna is unable to bear the pangs of separation from Srimati Radharani and the Vrajavasis. So how to relieve Krishna's pain? So then Narada and Uddhava, they discussed and they came to conclusion that we should take Krishna to Vrindavan. Only then his pangs of separation will be mitigated and he'll become healthy. So then Narada Muni told that let's wake up Krishna, let's go to Vrindavan. No. As soon as Krishna wakes up, he will want to go to Vrindavan. So we should make all the preparations before. We should make the Rath ready. So immediately Uddhava called Daruka and said, Daruka, make the chariot ready. Keep the horses and the chariot well nicely cleaned and properly arranged. So we may go to Vrindavan very soon. So like this, Uddhava made this arrangement. And but after that, they said, they further discussed and they said that, see, when Krishna goes to Vrindavan, Vrajavasis also should be ready to welcome him. They should prepare themselves first. Because if we suddenly go there, I don't know what will happen, whether they'll be ready to receive Krishna. So we should go and inform Vrajavasis that Krishna is coming after a long, long time. So then Narada Muni asked, who will go? Uddhava, you go. You are very dear to Krishna. And if you go, then Vrajavasis will be reminded of Krishna one thing, because you look like Krishna. So you can go first and then you can inform them. And as soon as Uddhava heard this request, Uddhava became very morose. Uddhava thought, actually I went to Vrindavan long, long ago. As Krishna personally called me and said that, see, I have been out of Vrindavan for a long time. And I had promised Vrajavasis that I'll be coming back very soon. But I could not go there. I have so many responsibilities here in Dwarka. I want to go, but I could not go. But I want to send you, Uddhava. I'll give you a message. You take this message and deliver it to Nanda, deliver it to Yashoda Maya, and then go to gopis and deliver a personal message to them from my side. So in this way, Krishna had ordered me to go to Vrindavan. And Uddhava describes, when I went to Vrindavan, I met Nanda Maharaj, I met Yashoda Mata, I met the gopis. They were feeling such acute pangs of separation that they were constantly crying. I could not console them. It is said that there are rivers of tears flowing in Vrindavan because of the constant separation from Krishna. Right? So they were crying day and night, 24 hours. Right? Here in the material world, if somebody dies, for some time the tears come, but after that, the tears stop. Because the nature of this world is people forget the pain. When there is pain, they cry, but after some time, they forget the pain and then they stop crying. But here in Vrindavan, the gopis are constantly crying. And to console such a person is very, very difficult. And Uddhava told them, I cannot stop your crying. Continue crying. Right? So they continued crying. In this way, Uddhava was very much influenced by the devotion of the Vrajavasis. Uddhava says actually, cry more, cry more, cry more. Actually, because if we tell them to stop crying, but they cannot stop. In fact, when Uddhava went to give the message to the gopis, when Uddhava read the letter, the gopis, of Krishna to the gopis, and in that letter, Krishna was telling, oh gopis, please meditate on my form. I'm there in your heart as Paramatma. I'm never separated from you. I'm there in every atom. I'm there everywhere. So I'm always with you. So try to meditate on me. And the gopis tried to close their eyes and meditate on Krishna, but they could not. In fact, actually this is the way yogis do meditation. But Krishna, the gopis are much beyond the Paramatma realization. They were in love with Krishna. Their love was so intense that wherever they saw, they were searching for Krishna. Whenever they saw something, they could remember Krishna. For example, Srimati Radharani looked at the clouds in the sky. Hey, it's Krishna there. Because she looked at the color of the clouds, which resembles Krishna's color. She looked at Tamal tree. Immediately she remembered Krishna, because Tamal tree's complexion is like that of Krishna's. So she went and embraced Tamal tree. And when a bumblebee came nearby, she asked Krishna, hey bumblebee, you might be traveling all over in Vrindavan. I have seen Krishna. I have seen Krishna. And they said the gopis are mad for Krishna. Srimati Radharani is mad for Krishna, always looking for Krishna. So I was touched by the devotion of the gopis, Uddhava says. And I promised them, I will go to Mathura and I'll bring back Krishna very soon. So I came back and so many days has passed. So many months has passed. And Krishna says, I'll come. But he never comes. So much time has passed. Only Krishna keeps promising that I'll come very soon, let's go together. But Krishna never came. And the gopis must be thinking, this Uddhava is also a cheater. He promised us that he will bring Krishna, but he has never come till now. So if I go now and inform the gopis that Krishna is coming, they will tell, you're a liar. You cheat. Again, you're giving false promise. So in this way, gopis will not be able to put faith in me. So I cannot go. How shall I go? So then Narada and Uddhava requested Balaram. So Balaram is also the elder brother of Krishna. So when Balaram was requested like this, Balaram's heart also said, oh, I cannot go. You know why? Because I also went and stayed in Vrindavan for 2 months. Right? So in one of the past times, Balaramji went to Vrindavan and stayed for 2 months. Right? So, and I tried to console the Vrajavasis. I tried to tell them, please have patience, don't feel so much distress. Krishna will come soon. Like this, I tried to console them, but they could not be consoled. Their situation was like fish out of water. When the fish is out of water, it is struggling to survive. So the gopis and the Vrajavasis, they are struggling to survive. They are struggling to keep their life. Because Krishna was not there. Krishna is like the pond in which the fishes of the Vrajavasis, they survive. But when Krishna left Vrindavan, the Vrajavasis, they were in acute separation, acute distress. Balaram says that I understood clearly that without the presence of Krishna, nothing would give them consolation. Right? So just like see on the lotus feet of Krishna, there is a Matsya. You might have seen Krishna's lotus footprint. in that at the bottom there is a matsya, fish. So the meaning of the fish is that Krishna's lotus feet is like the pond in which the devotees who are like the fishes, they survive, they're happy. Just like fish cannot live without water, the devotees cannot live without the service to the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's the meaning of the fish on the lotus feet of Krishna. So the Brajavasi situation is also like that. They're intense. They're about on the verge of death, actually. So then Balramji touched the lotus feet of Mother Yashoda and actually told Mother Yashoda, promised Mother Yashoda, as soon as I reach Dwarka, I'll make my best effort to bring Krishna to Brajabhumi. Wait for some days. I'll come very soon. I gave the word to Mother Yashoda and I came and told Krishna, Krishna, Yashoda is in great distress. They're about to leave their body. Please come. Let's go to Vrindavan. If you don't go, they will die. So then Krishna said, yes, I'll come. I'll go. Very soon. But so many days and years have passed and Krishna has not gone there. I don't know whether the Brajavasis are surviving, how they're able to survive. If I go again to Vrindavan and if I tell that Krishna is coming, they will think, hey Balram, you liar, you cheated us, you came and you stayed with us and you promised that I'll bring Krishna. And where is your promise? You could not keep your promise. So many days has passed and you're again giving false promise. You don't want to hear this false promise. So I guess the Brajavasis will admonish me. Right? So in this way, Balram became morose and he thought that I cannot go. Better send somebody else. And Balram says, Balram starts thinking in his heart, how are the Brajavasis surviving? Right? So in this way, Balram becomes silent. And then he actually tells Krishna, because Krishna is resting. It is said that your heart is like butter, but your heart is not like butter, it's hard, like a rock. Because even though you know that Brajavasis are in intense pain, still you're not giving your darshan to them. I consider your heart to be like stone. So that's what Balramji is commenting in the mode of ecstasy. So at that time when this discussion is happening, Subhadra Maya comes there. Subhadra Devi says, Balramji, Narad Muniji, Uddhavaji, I will go. I am ready. I can go to Vrindavan and give the news that Krishna is coming. And she gives the reason that I am a lady and people put faith in the words of the ladies. And I'm connected to Krishna and Balaram. So in this way, I'll be able to give the news. So let me go first. So I'll go to Yashoda Maya first, Nanda Maharaj first. Subhadra Maya says, she says what she's going to do. She says that she'll go to Yashoda Maya and immediately lie on the lap of Yashoda Maya and wipe the tears from the eyes of Yashoda Maya and say that, Maya, my brothers are coming very soon. In this, I'll give the news. And then I came first ahead because Yashoda Maya asked the question, where is Krishna Balaram? We should come together, right? Will you come together? No. Actually, when people heard that Krishna and Balaram are coming, so many people have gathered on the road that they could not pass very fast because they made gates and they are doing pujas and artis on the way. So it's taking time for them to come. I came ahead and I'm informing all of you. So in this way, I'll pacify Yashoda Maya. And they'll be able to put faith in my words, she says. So then she said that then I'll go to gopis also. Then I will inform them that Krishna is coming and I'll wipe their tears also. In this way, I'll give the news to everybody in Vrindavan and I'll be able to console them. So then Narad Muni becomes very happy. Yes, very good proposal. Subhadra, you can travel first. And Subhadra Maya ordered to get the chariot. So Subhadra's chariot was made ready. When Subhadramaya was about to leave, Balram comes and tells Subhadramaya, hey, you're going alone? Actually, I'll also come with you. I'll make my chariot also ready. I'll come along with you. So let's all go together. Of course, you go and give the news. I'll be outside Vrindavan. After you give the news, then I'll enter inside. So Balram didn't want Subhadramaya, sister, to go alone. So he also accompanied. So Balram's chariot left first. And then Subhadramaya's chariot leaves. And Krishna is still asleep. He's not awake. He's in the absorption of Vrajavasis. So after some time, Narad Muni starts singing Vrajalila using his veena. Narada Muni Bhajaya Veena Radhika Ramana Name Nama Mani Udita Hoy Bhakata Gita Same. So Narada Muni took his veena and he started singing the glories of Vrajavasis, pastimes of Vrindavan. Immediately Krishna remembered the gopis, Rata Rani, Nanda Maharaj Swami. Immediately Krishna got up. He awoke from his sleep. So when Krishna woke up and he got up and said, where am I? I'm in Vrindavan. So then he looked at Narada Muni. Narada, what are you doing here in Vrindavan? You came to Vraja. He looked at Uddhava. Uddhava, you're also here. Where is my flute? I don't have a flute. Please bring my flute. So in this way, Krishna actually was in mood of Vrindavan. Although Krishna was in Dwarka, his mind was absorbed in Vrindavan Leela. So he thought that he was in Vrindavan. His flute was not there. He could not find. Right? So then he said, maybe gopis have stolen this flute. They have stolen my flute. Saying this, he started to run to find his flute. And then he saw actually Uddhava standing with him. Uddhava, Narada, you came to Vrindavan? Actually, then Narada says, my lord, actually, this is Dwarka. We are in Dwarka. Let's go to Vrindavan. I know that you want to go to Vrindavan. We made all arrangements. Your chariot is ready. Please come and sit on the chariot. We will go to Vrindavan. And your brother and sister, they already gone ahead. Right? So they're going ahead to Vrindavan. You also please come. So Narada Muni requested Lord to board the chariot. And Lord, when he heard that he'll go to Vrindavan, he became ecstatic, like a mad, drunken elephant. Right? So he was intoxicated in the love of Srimati Radharani. So, and when he was about to be taken to the chariot, he was uncontrollable. He was always shaking, trembling in ecstasy. Right? Today is the day of Rath Yatra. So if you see the video, I think very soon they'll start broadcasting on Doordarshan. If you see the video, you will see how Lord Jagannath is in ecstasy. He is shaking, his body is trembling, and his kirita is shaking. So that's how Lord comes on the Rath in great ecstasy, maddened with a desire to go to Vrindavan. So the Lord boards the chariot prepared by Narada Muni and Uddhava. When he's boarding the chariot, devotees are holding him, putting him on the chariot, and then the Rath starts moving. Okay. So these ecstasies, they are called as Ashta Sattvika Vikara. There are 8 transformations which happen in the body of the Lord. And even in the bodies of pure devotees, these 8 transformations of ecstasy can be seen. So what are those? Pulakashru. First symptom is there will be tears in the eyes. Eyes become wet. Kampa. The body starts trembling. Shveda. Shveda means sweating. The sweat forms in the body. And Vaivarnya, there is discolorment of the bodily pigment. And sometimes the body becomes like whitish. Sometimes body becomes reddish. So the discolorment of the body color changes, right? And then there is a standing of the hairs on the body, they stand on the end. Then there is, yeah. So in this way, there is Gadgada, cannot speak. Prema Gadgadaya. So the trembling in the voice chokes up actually. The voice becomes choked up. And he falls unconscious. So these are some of the symptoms which a devotee exhibits when he's in ecstasy. Similarly, the Lord also exhibited this Ashta Satvika Vikaras. So Balram exhibited this Mahabhava actually. So Balram, Subhadra, and Krishna, all three exhibit this Mahabhava as soon as they reach Vrindavan. Right? So they left Dwarka, they're in separation from Brajavasis. When they reached Dwarka, and as soon as they got the sight of Vrindavan, they had the sight of the Brajavasis, they saw Nanda Maharaj, Yashodamaya, Gopis. Immediately this ecstasy came, and the eyes became very big, and hands became short, and they manifested the form of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, as we see here, as we see in the altar today. So that form manifested. So, and in such a state, Subhadramaya composed herself, right? And then Subhadramaya goes to meet the Vrishavasis, and she informs the news that Krishna is coming. So it is said here, the sweetness of mellow Braja is like an ocean, and these two forms are drowning in the ocean. Just like a log of wood floats in the water, similarly, Subhadramaya and Balaram started floating in the ocean of Brajarasa, the mellows of Vrindavan. And later Krishna also joins us. So when all these things are going on, Radharani, Srimati Radharani was in a forest grove called Nidhivan, which is her private forest, where only the gopis and Srimati Radharani is allowed. And Krishna also comes there to perform the pastimes. And Srimati Radharani's health became more and more worse. So that's what Maharaj says. And she fainted, she was unconscious, and she became very lean. And news started spreading that Srimati Radharani is about to quit her body. So at that time, all the Brajavasis, they came there to meet Srimati Radharani. In fact, many other devotees, gopis like Lalita, Vishaka, and even Chandravali and others, they all come to meet Srimati Radharani, and each one of them, they try to pacify Srimati Radharani. They come and touch the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, take the dust on the lotus feet, and they glorify Srimati Radharani's devotion. Right? Every one of them glorifies Srimati Radharani. And in fact, Abhimanyu, who is considered to be the husband of Srimati Radharani, he comes and falls at the feet of Srimati Radharani and says that people think that I'm your husband, but actually you're not my husband. I'm not your husband. Krishna is your husband. Just like Ravana kidnapped Chaya Sita, similarly I married Chaya Radha, a shadow of Srimati Radharani. But actually, Lord Krishna is your master. And people criticize that you have a relationship with Krishna like a paramour, but actually Krishna is your real husband. He is your real master. I am not. I am just your servant. And he bowed down at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And then Chandravali comes and says that actually sometimes Krishna comes to my garden and spends time with me. But actually he's always remembering you. He comes to me just to enhance your love for me, love for him. But actually, You are very dear to Krishna. Nobody is as dear to Krishna as you. So Chandravati also falls at the feet of Srimati Radharani and take the dust of Srimati Radharani. And some of them they take kumkum from the lotus feet of Radharani and put on their head. So in this way they glorified Srimati Radharani. At that time Kutila comes. Kutila is the sister-in-law of Srimati Radharani. And she had great complaint that Radharani goes to meet Krishna, and they were doubting the chastity of Srimati Radharani. And Kutila says that actually I have come to the conclusion that Srimati Radharani is the most chaste lady in the entire Vrindavan. Because once Krishna had fever. She had fever and fever is not going. And then devotees asked Krishna, what is the solution? How can we cure your fever? So at that time Krishna said that the medicine for this fever is that you should bring water from Yamuna in a pot which has 100 holes. The pot should have holes, 100 holes. You should bring the water from it. And not even a drop of water should fall. How is it possible? It's not possible, right? When you take water in a pot with holes, water spills off. Yes, it is impossible, but whoever is able to bring it without spilling even one drop, she is the most chaste lady in Vrindavan. And when she puts that water on my body, my fever will be gone. Okay, so then Kutila went and she took a pot with 100 holes. She took the water from Yamuna, and as soon as she started carrying the water, all the water got emptied from the pot. Then Kutila understood, oh, I'm not at all chaste. Then many people in Braja, they tried. Nobody could do this. And finally, Srimati Radharani was given the pot. And Srimati Radharani lovingly took the pot and filled it with Yamuna water and brought it to Krishna. Not even a drop of water spilled. And when Krishna accepted that water, then immediately the fever was gone. So Kutila says that actually Srimati Radharani is the most chaste lady. She has crushed the pride of all others by her chastity. Right? She has crushed my pride, she says. But today, I'm very proud that I have the opportunity to take dust from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So Kutila bows down at the feet of Srimati Radharani. In this, different personalities, they come and then they offer obeisances to Srimati Radharani. So at the time Krishna arrives in Vraja, comes to Vrindavan, he jumped down from his chariot, right? And Krishna ran to where Srimati Radharani was. And Krishna was chanting the names of Srimati Radharani. Hey Radhe, please give me your lotus feet, dust of your lotus feet. Radhe, Radhe, Dehi Padapallavam Udaram. Oh Radharani, give me your lotus feet. I want to put them on my head. Krishna is shouting in that way. Such a wonderful Leela was manifest. Krishna, feeling acute pangs of separation, he manifested the form of Jagannath. His eyes became wide, then his hands were pushed inside, his legs became pushed inside, his body became like a tortoise, and he manifested the form of Jagannath. So, and with that big eyes, Lord Jagannath was looking at Srimati Radharani. And Radharani was unconscious. And seeing her condition, he also lost consciousness. So Lord Jagannath and Srimati Radharani both became unconscious. We can see this pastime happening between Lord Chaitanya and Jagannath. And Lord Chaitanya is dancing in front of Rath carts. Sometimes he faints unconscious. And sometimes when Lord Chaitanya was dancing, he goes behind the Rath and Lord Jagannath is not able to see Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Jagannath stops because he could not find Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Srimati Radharani. He was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So in this way, both were in separation from each other. So Jagannath was in separation from from Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani was in separation from Lord Jagannath. But when Jagannath came there, so they decided that Srimati Radharani could smell the fragrance from the body of Jagannath. Immediately she woke up. Right? She woke up, and as if her life had returned. So she immediately got up, and in a very sweet voice, Lalita Devi said, Krishna has come here. And Radharani opened her eyes and saw the beautiful face of Krishna. So both started looking at each other. Just like Lord Chaitanya is gazing at Jagannath, and Jagannath is gazing at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Radha and Krishna both became united after a long time. They started gazing at each other, looking at each other. So in this way, they spent the time in the forest of Nidhivan for the whole night. And in the morning, all the gopis, Lalita, Vishaka, and Ashtasakis, they came with all the paraphernalia ready for worship. So Krishna and Radharani, they were sitting on a nice flower bed, and the gopis, they started worshipping Radha and Krishna. So, and cuckoos were cooing, and birds were chirping, and a very, very beautiful scene which was created there. And you can see that photograph where Radha and Krishna are standing, ISKCON photograph. And all the Ashtasikis around, somebody are holding kartal in their hands, somebody are holding mridanga in their hands, and some people are having veena in their hands, some people are harmonium, different musical instruments. And they are singing the glories of Radha and Krishna. So in this way, Radha and Krishna are worshipped. So, and Lord Jagannath told that this form is very ecstatic form of mine, and I'll manifest in this form in Nilachala, in Jagannath Puri Dham, where I'll stay eternally in that Dham, and I'll give mercy to the devotees. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya also chose to stay in Jagannath Puri. In one sense, Vrindavan and Dwarka, Jagannath Puri are not different. But in Jagannath Puri, one can experience that rasa of love and separation. Because Jagannath is in the mood of separation from Srimati Radharani. Radharani is in separation from Lord Krishna. So that Viraha Bhavana is very nicely manifested in Jagannath Puri. So Lord Chaitanya specifically chose this place of Jagannath Puri. And almost 18 years Lord Chaitanya spent in Jagannath Puri, experiencing the feelings of separation. And mostly he was staying in Gambhira. That's the place where these feelings of separation are manifest intensely. So in this way, Lord Jagannath Bale Subhadra manifested this ecstatic form. And in the same form, Lord Jagannath was residing in Jagannath Puri. And in memory of this pastime of Lord coming to Vrindavan, every year on today's Tithi, so they perform this Rath Yatra. So on Jeshta Purnima, they perform this Snana Purnima, Snan Yatra. And then on the Dvitiya, today, they perform this Rath Yatra. And Lord stays in Vrindavan for about 9 days. Ulta Rath is on 28th. Yeah. So on 28th. So 9 days, Lord stays in Sundarachala, which is Gundicha temple. Gundicha Devi is in the mode of Vatsalya Bhava, in the mode of Yashodamaya. So Gundicha temple represents Vrindavan. Indruga Maharaj also is in Vatsalya Bhava, in the mode of Nanda Maharaj. So in the mode of Nanda and Yashoda, they take care of Krishna in Gundicha for 9 days. And after that, Lord again returns back to Nilachala. So in this way, Lord performs his pastimes with the devotees. So this is the meaning of Rath Yatra. On this occasion of Rath Yatra, we can also prepare our heart to welcome the Lord in our heart by pulling the ropes of the Rath, the ropes of devotion. Lord is pulled only by devotion, not with physical rope. So when the devotees with devotion, they pull the Rath, the Lord comes, agrees to come. Right? In Rath Yatra, we see that sometimes Lord Jagannath stops. And the king ordered the big elephants and big pahlwans to pull the Rath, but Rath could not be pulled because they had no devotion. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and touched the Rath started moving. So in this way, the Lord moves on his own will, controlled by the devotion of his devotees. So we can also invite the Lord within our heart and make our heart the residence of the Lord. So today afternoon onwards in ISKCON Bhakti Kutir, Shivanagar, there is a wonderful festival being organized. So all the devotees can go and pull the Rath. And apart from pulling the Rath, Srila Prabhupada said, this is a preaching moment. So there's an opportunity to give the mercy of Lord Jagannath to everybody. So there will be many services like prasadam distribution. There will be services like decoration, book distribution, distributing water, and doing kirtan, dancing for the pleasure of the Lord. So many services. So devotees can take up these services and become part of this preaching moment. So I'm also here in Gulbarga. So devotees are doing Rath Yatra tomorrow. So they put all the hard efforts. First time the devotees are doing here. So I also see the blessings of all the devotees. So pray for all the devotees here so that we can make the Rath Yatra successful here as well. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to pause here and leave some time for discussion. Anybody has any points to share or any queries? So we can take some.
Very well. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful nectar. In fact, very nice to know that in Gulbarga we are doing a Ratha Yatra there. So that's very nice to hear. And we'll be missing you here, but for the Bangalore Ratha Yatra. And actually, Prabhu, you started off by saying it is so nectarian. So we have heard the past times, but then keep hearing it again and again, and it is so wonderful. So thank you for actually taking us into the wonderful pastimes of the Lordships, and also the deep interactions or the nectarian interactions between the Brajavasis. It was so wonderful to hear from you. At this point, I'd just pause and request devotees to share their, if they have any comments or realization, or if there is any question, then go ahead. So devotees,
you had heard this past time before of what Gaurgen Maharaj said? Dwarka to Vrindavan, that past time devotees had heard before? No?
No, Prabhu, I don't think. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yes, any devotees have any other?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you are in Puri, Prabhu?
I'm in a place called Gulbarga, which is part of North Karnataka.
Okay.
So we're doing the Rath Yatra tomorrow.
During return Rath Yatra, no, Prabhu, they say Krishna goes to his aunt's place.
Aunt's place?
Yeah, Mausikagar.
I'm not sure, Mataji. He returns back to Sri Mandir, which is Nilachal.
So then they say they.
Anybody else knows about this? Mausikagar? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Suvarna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing the
Hare
wonderful
Krishna.
lecture. So, in my childhood, I have read stories about Rata Yatra happening in Japan and outside India. So, I was wondering, how it would happen, because it was way back in 80s. So, I didn't know about ISKCON and all that time. But later, during my job, I witnessed Rata Yatra in Japan, and it was so nice to see that the Odisha community and ISKCON, they used to pull rathas in Tokyo, in the streets of Tokyo. So then I was able to connect. So it's actually Lord Jagannath is, real Jagannath. It's not only in India. So like Prabhupada used to say. So nice, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah, correct, Prabhu. He is Jagannath, not just of India, not just of Odisha. Some people think he's property of Odisha, but actually he is Lord of the whole universe, Jagat ke Nath. So he likes to go all over the world, right? So Srila Prabhupada understood the mode of Jagannath ji. And the first deity Srila Prabhupada introduced was Jagannath in San Francisco, carved by Shyam Sundar. They were the first deities in ISKCON. And then Srila Prabhupada organized Rath Yatra. His first Rath Yatra was in San Francisco on a truck. Behind the truck, they kept Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra facing the three directions of the truck in the open truck behind, so with the canopy on top. So that's how the first Rath Yatra was done. And Shyam Sundar was driving the truck. So, and then subsequently they started making the Raths. His Grace Jagannath Prabhu, he took the initiative and he started making the Raths, and he did the Rath Yatra very grand way. Three Raths, one for Jagannath, one for Baladev and Subhadra. In that way, Jagannath Prabhu introduced very grand Rath Yatras in ISKCON. Yes. Okay. Any other comments by others?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for
Hare
the nice
Krishna.
class, Prabhu. There is a word in English, Juggernaut, that actually is derived from Jagannath, not Jagannath.
Yeah.
So one British general or somebody, he came to visit Jagannath, and when he saw the Rath Yatra, he was amazed at the volume and the size of the Rathas. So he coined a word, Juggernaut. Thank you for the nice class once again, Prabhu.
Yeah, Jagannath comes from Jagannath. Correct. Juggernaut means something very big,
huge,
something
powerful.
very big, huge, yeah, powerful. That's the meaning, English meaning of Juggernaut. And the origin is Jagannath. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Sachitana Guru, for sharing. You're also doing Rath Yatra, right? Somewhere in Lake City.
Yes, Prabhu. South City. That next week, 24th.
South City, 24th. Yeah.
So thank you, devotees. If there aren't any other comments or questions, then we can conclude the wonderful session today. So once again, Prabhu, thank you so much for taking us into the past times. And we'll also the important point about the devotion, trying to do the activities in devotion and then trying to preach. So that was very inspiring. And hopefully in the evening, I think we should be able to practice whatever we heard today from you. So thank you so much.
And you can tune into Doordarshan to watch Lord Jagannath live.
So yeah, so we'll conclude by offering Vaishnav pranams. Is that okay? Pancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Nanta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Jagannath Rath Yatra ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much once again. I'll end the session for everyone. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.